Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to next broadcast of Wall Street Station channel, the channel where we will find out the latest, most important news regarding investments in crypto, stocks, commodities. Today's broadcast, as you do know, is going live. So if you have any question, just don't hesitate to pop them right now. I'll get back to them as soon as possible. Today we are diving into very captivating phenomena in the crypto financial world. It's a coin of Solana, rapidly emerging cryptocurrency that recently been making waves across the digital landscape. Today we are going through the technicals, the fundamentals, sentiment, and also the projections of what may lay ahead of the project. So there will be not only the positive sides of the project, but also the drawbacks that I just pointed in this meme type of a image. So we'll talk not only about the possible surge in value, but also about the threat of a dumping a token, and we'll discover this all together. So join us as we unravel the story of Solana and shed light on what the future might hold for this digital asset. So we are jumping to first element for today. I just wanted to know whether audio working fine. If so, let me know in the chat in order to proceed. All right, so we are going at first with the elements regarding what the Solana really is. And for this, I want you to just find out what Solana offers. So Solana is the project that is offering low fees and high speed and therefore high throughput, low latency, contribute to faster and more cost-efficient transactions compared to its competitors as Ethereum. So Solana is fast, innovative, by some communities also called the even better Ethereum 2.0. But I do find that Ethereum is more sustainable, more conservative in its approach, and also more secure. So there is a blockchain trilemma. You probably heard of it, that you cannot have free facilities at once in the blockchain. So there is security, scalability, and privacy. And for me, Solana is all about the scalability, and it's right now serving more and more clients. But if we just have a comparison to Ethereum, still it's a laggard in almost every type of a sector. But Solana is available to send transactions up to 60,000 transactions per second, whereas the average is at around 3,000. So it's still 100 times more than around 100 times more than what Ethereum makes right now. So it gives us a great prospect for what the Solana future may be. With this reduced fees and improved transaction times, Solana is setting a real attractive option for developers and users seeking seamless experiences. So that's definitely one of the most important features of the Solana platform is its speed. In terms of transaction fees, it's also one of the feature that allows it to compete with the greatest names in the brand in this whole sector. As we can find that hybrid consensus mechanism boosts its scalability and lowering transaction fees, and therefore we can find that during this clogged time of a high demand for tokens, for transactions, when normally when there is a bull run, Ethereum is suffering from a really over the roof transaction fees, whereas Solana hasn't. But we had this, in terms of security issues, we had this a blackout when Solana has been turned off for a couple of hours due to hacks and due to some bugs. So Solana still need to catch up in order to really retain the users' credibility and also to recoup its prior reputation. In terms of comparison, just look at here, the Solana. Solana is the one that in a sector of top smart contract platforms is at 5th position and in market cap overall sets a 10th place. So it's the situation where we may find that when those institutions will hurdle for new tokens, when the regulations will eventually get more clear, they will grab those tokens out of the first 10 positions and even 20s, and among them Solana is in a quite of a comfortable position. Normally the largest hedge funds when really harnessing this a new type of technologies to their portfolios, they're using the most usable, most I would say experienced type of players, and Solana is definitely one of them that is predestined to gain in the next more institutional type of a crypto cycle. So let's dive in a little bit more and a little bit deeper into this protocol. So when assessing the availability and also the usability of the protocol, and when also finding out the investment prospects and having a trying to have get a benchmark. Sorry for my a little bit not clear points, but what I really get to that is that the supply schedule of the every crypto should be clear and visible, and also the one that will predestine those long-term holders. So right here in the protocol of Solana, we can find that after 10th of April, the protocol is becoming a kind of a deflationary. If this demand will increase, that protocol will be deflationary as the supply schedule is really stable. However, the only one thing that is rising at this green curve is staking rewards, and staking rewards should get higher, as it's normally like the company's bonds when you want to have the stake in the protocol in the company or another type of a financial asset, and want to just take and yield some percentage points out of the holding, just believing in such of a value. So staking rewards with a rising pace is given the privilege for those that are already in possession of the token, and I don't find that supply schedule is absolutely fine in comparison to its peers. So we are jumping to next, and next one is the data. So right here at the top, I couldn't find a holders distribution in other platforms. That's why I decided to just put up this Reddit subscribers and Twitter followers, so we can find it. Right now it's not a time for Solana. There is many talk about this in a media, but still retails are not really catching up the train. And let's look at, however, developers. So it's something that you would like to really see. So this developer trend is showing us that when the market was in a turmoil, we could find that the developers were still developing the tokens, even though there was a real pesky time for Solana when this FTX major stakeholder of Solana has collapsed. First and foremost, the team decided to develop the protocol even further, even though there are not many maybe investors. It was back in 2020 and 2021, but still, even though the Alameda Research, the one of the subsidiary of FTX, has gone bust, we still have many players that are allowing this to thrive, and that's why the Solana world we can find is preparing for the next bull run to come. Rating score overall, roadmap in progress. Yes, it's ambitious, but underlying technology still finding out that we still have many things to catch up, as Ethereum has majority of those ratings at over 80%. So there are many voices that Solana will be the Ethereum 2.0, but still we need to prove it somehow. All right, so between the lines, we couldn't really miss the most important facts regarding what's laying ahead. And laying ahead will be the outcome of what's underneath. So what's underneath is this market cap fully diluted. The comparison of market cap to fees on protocol. So fees are, as I just said in the previous episodes, so if you haven't maybe watched previous, you can just skip to them about other protocols. And my thoughts is that fees are very often identified with derivative of revenues. So fees right here, finding out like the higher the protocol goes, higher the token of FTX goes, the higher fees generates the protocol. So it means that normally when the network is getting more clogged, when there is more traffic right there, the fees out of the protocol are getting higher. That is why we do find that in order to have this scalability, greater scalability, we need to really decouple fundamentally the price from its fees on the protocol. So it may be some correlation, but when going a little bit deeper into the rabbit hole, we may find that when the price will skyrocket, when we'd like to have this token highly tradable at a higher valuation, we should find that the usability of the protocol has been unchanged, so the fees couldn't rise, as it may really scare off potential customers. So in terms of fundamental, it's still pretty stable, but there is many things yet to be done in order to have this protocol rise forward. In terms of weighted funding rate, we can find that funding rate is the result, the mirror really of the sentiment and the protocol. And right now, after this very pesky September time, we can find right now that we are trying to find a bottom and the possible floor, the sentiment with this little zigzags that are right now been posing with a very normalizing type of a environment, with a very skewed to the upside and right after skewed to the downside funding rates. So normally funding rates are the ones that are pointing where this strength of the market sits right now. And what we can find right here is that normalization usually leads to major directional move that will be supposedly noticeable in the next weeks. In terms of macro, because I repeated over and over that macro and crypto are not splitting apart. And we can find right here that we are still in this very highly skewed to the upside interest rate policy globally, but it's starting to change. When it starts to change, we can find that more and more countries right here in this month decided to hold their interest rate or even cut them. When the cuts will just take place, just look at what happened back when these cuts took place in 2020. And in 2020, we had this major bull run of crypto assets. So it means that when the cuts will eventually take place, we still have a time of a plateau for the market, and this one is proceeding right afterwards with a very nice momentum on crypto. The one that was also noticed back in 2020, 2021. So therefore, there is still the best ahead of us in terms of crypto valuations, but we need to be really patient for now, and maybe the 2024 will be more optimistic overall. The valuation, however, the valuation difference between the cap-weighted S&P 500 and its equal weight counterpart is still significant, indicating that technology stocks are at higher risk due to a potential return of cautious market sentiment. And that symbolizes us that right now is the time when we have this budget tightening by banks, we have this holdback on loans from bank, and that's the time where normally we are in the period of fastening the seatbelts when it comes to risky investments, and therefore that's the time that predestines the higher companies in a market cap, not so reliant on external funding. So that's definitely not a time for crypto, but when I go away, possibly somewhere in the next quarters, that will be the one thing to consider. Again, a major stake of your portfolio in crypto overall. So right now we can find that equal weight pure of S&P 500 has seen only a modest of 1% increase, whereas those concentrated on those magnificent 7 companies that are at the highest growers are at something around 4 to 5 points. So it's absolutely crushing, and those companies like Alphabet, Meta Platforms, Tesla, or Nvidia are the crushers, and that during this circumstance, during this environment of economy, we can find that it will be difficult to frog leap in the next time. We need to just look ahead and be patient in what may come ahead. Right now, this equal weight benchmark is lagging behind. When it gets catching up, we may find a normalization of the environment. All right, so where we are right now, however, in the overall position of Bitcoin dominance. So right now, this insight under the scope is giving us a real clue where we are sitting right now, and that's the point of a nowhere, really. So we are right now exceeding 50 points in terms of its distribution between Bitcoin season and altcoin season, and when it comes through 50, we are still right now more into altcoin season. So it means we are seeking more type of risky assets, but before it gets to 75 points, it may take a bit longer time, and therefore betting on altcoins right now is somewhat risky. For altcoin season, we do need a couple of months, at best, couple of months of sustainable growth, reaching above 70 units on this metric. So if you wanna just don't miss the altcoin season, just subscribe to the channel and you will get notified in the real time what's going on crypto. Right now, let's get to the real clue of what's going on and what may come next, as the price is telling us everything. So could we have a chance to recoup the highs? But at first, I wanted to send you right now to another bone of contention that was lately been sparked by Solana holders. So right now we have this really perturbant situation that is kind of a dicey when you see at first. At Solana may fall even further, as due to FTX, this collapsed exchange would need to repay its debt. The exchange that has been highly indebted right now after the demise, we can find that will need to unload their bags of Solana. That's what we can find is top located assets of FTX and Alameda in USD compared to recent 7-day trading volume. And when would need this exchange would need to unload their bags, to pay off all the liabilities, it need to be very, very worrisome for all the holders of the Solana. But it may be the last and the most also event that may bring this real purge into the ecosystem, when the last sellers of last results will be eventually faded away. So for me, if I would be a holder, long-term holder, it's not a threat. But if you are looking for the great entrance right now into Solana, I would wait for possibly unloading effect. However, this unload may not happen all at once. So therefore, it may be extended in time and may be prolonged into this year and maybe the beginning of the next. Therefore, if you just have a look at Solana to USDT chart, we can find that that was the formation that resembles a free inside up candlestick formation. When we have free inside up, normally at this bearish candle would be just hidden into the body of the previous candle. Unfortunately, it happened. However, this overlapping candle, this next overlapping candle of January on monthly for Solana, claims that we are right now more persistent to go higher than lower. It was just a kind of a V-shape recovery that when preceded by this consolidation within a range of 12 and 32, giving us a ray of hope that the next catalyst will be the one that may eventually push the valuation higher. But still, on a weekly, even though we are defending ourselves from a further collapse, there are much of a choppiness that may eventually take us a bit longer in time. However, we can find that those levels of 8 and 9 bucks, and also this around 13, are the ones that will be an important buying points in the future, as we do know that right now, whenever the price has held back to those areas of demand, we can find that the demand that was met right after was the one that was pushing the valuation for sequentially 200% and also 140%. So right now the next one level that may be tested is the one where this demands on maybe sitting right at 15.37, and that's where I'm looking for great entrance. But if we just find the real consolidation and possibly accumulation right around here with some overlapping candles, with some piercing candlestick patterns or engulfing patterns, I would think once again about loading up on Solana, especially that the fundamentals are quite fine. There were many of collapses of events that were about to turn away the protocol, and the Solana has proved its resiliency. But still, I'm looking for the great setup in order to catch up. All right, so I've just pointed out to you that the great entrance for me is at around 15.5, but I would be sticking around this chart in order to find out what's going on at there. Anyway, if you have any questions regarding this analysis, let me know in a comments or chat right now. Having that said, we are right now jumping into next element. That's the last for today. It's final thoughts and Q&A. So if you have any questions, you can pose it right now. And with all of this being said, I want to just summarize the things for you. So Solana's amazing work on local fee markets solve many of state contentions. Solana is trying to develop its scalability throughout building bridges, and also some of the implementation that will allow users to really plain sail throughout the ecosystem. So while right now there is overall enthusiasm, that's what we can find right at this chart when flows by asset still flowing in. I would really maybe wait for a little bit worse conditions in terms of sentiment. So I do prefer buying tokens, many of protocols, by holding them in a type of a market turmoil. Back in November of 2022, I was the buyer of Solana. However, I sold a majority of its stake, but still trying to find another entrance. So for me, for now, Solana is becoming supposedly great competitor of Ethereum, but the next bull cycle, the next cycle of crypto will really tell us much more about the protocol, how it went through this bear market, haven't been untapped or really suffered from real losses. So Solana occasionally suffering from downtimes, which raises concerns despite being attributed to its rapid growth. Also, investors considering Solana that may still be dumped through and by this FTX exchange. So there are many drawbacks on the way, and you still need to consider that it will be very difficult to say what the valuation of Solana may be in the next crypto bull run. But I do stand that Solana will be the one. It will be the outperformer. And if you want to have some of the percentage of your portfolio in Solana, that's not a stupid move. So if the mainstream will eventually find once again those undervalued tokens, Solana will be the one of the gainers. But let me know what you think the price valuation in the next crypto bull run. What's the all-time high of or this time high will be for this protocol in the next bull run to come. From me, that's everything. Have a fantastic evening wherever you are. Fantastic day overall. And thank you very much for sticking around, and see you once again